It was a quiet town, once full of life. Now the streets were empty, the shops were closed, and the houses were dark. The wind blew through the trees, making a sound like a whisper. But one question hung in the air: what happened to Lily? Lily was a sweet girl with curly hair and a big smile. She lived in this town with her mom, dad, and little brother Tim. Everyone loved Lily. She was kind, always helping others, and loved to play in the park. But one day, she vanished. It was a sunny afternoon. Lily had gone to the park to play, just like she always did. Her mom, Sarah, waved goodbye and told her to be back by dinner. But Lily never came home. The town searched for her. They looked in the park, the woods, and even the old well. But there was no sign of Lily. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. The town grew quieter, and people started to move away. But one thing stayed the same: the mystery of Lily. Years later, a boy named Jake moved into the town with his family. Jake was curious and loved to explore. One day, while playing in an old abandoned house, he found a diary. It was dusty and worn, but the name on the cover made his heart skip a beat: Lily. Jake opened the diary and began to read. The first page said, "Today, I saw something strange in the woods. I think someone is watching me." Jake's hands shook as he turned the page. The next entry said, "I heard a voice calling my name. It sounded like a whisper, but no one was there." Jake knew he had to find out more. He decided to explore the woods where Lily had seen the strange thing. But as he walked deeper into the forest, he felt like someone was watching him too. The woods were dark and quiet. Jake held a flashlight, but the light seemed to fade as he went further in. He could hear the wind, but it sounded like whispers. Then he saw it, a small old cabin hidden behind the trees. The door was slightly open, and inside, he found a dusty room with a table and a chair. On the table was a photo of Lily. Jake's heart raced. He picked up the photo and noticed something written on the back: "Help me." Suddenly, he heard a noise behind him. He turned around, but no one was there. The whispers grew louder, and Jake ran out of the cabin as fast as he could. When Jake got home, he told his parents about the diary and the cabin. They didn't believe him at first, but when they saw the photo of Lily, they knew something was wrong. The next day, Jake's dad, Tom, went to the police. The officer, named Mike, listened to their story and agreed to check the cabin. But when they got there, the cabin was gone. Tom and Mike searched the area, but there was no sign of the cabin or anything else. It was like it had vanished into thin air. That night, Jake had a dream. He saw Lily standing in the woods, holding her diary. She looked sad and scared. She whispered, "Find me." Jake woke up with a start. He knew he had to find Lily. He went back to the park where she used to play and found an old swing set. Under one of the swings, he saw something shiny. It was a locket with a picture of Lily inside. Jake opened it and found a small piece of paper. It said, "Look under the big oak tree." Jake ran to the big oak tree in the park and started digging. After a few minutes, he found a small box. Inside was a key and a note. "This key opens the door to the truth." Jake didn't know what the key was for, but he knew he was getting closer to finding Lily. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this story if you're hooked. Subscribe to Shadow Truths for more mysteries like this one. Jake showed the key to his dad, and they decided to search the town for a door it might open. They checked old houses, sheds, and even the school, but nothing fit. Then, Jake remembered the old library. It had been closed for years, but he thought it might be worth a try. When they got there, they found a small door at the back of the building. The key fit perfectly. Inside, they found a room filled with old books and papers. But one book stood out. It was titled "The History of Our Town." Jake opened the book and found a map of the town with a spot marked in red. It was in the middle of the woods, near where the cabin had been. Jake and his dad followed the map to the spot marked with a red X. When they got there, they found a small hidden path leading deeper into the woods. At the end of the path, they found a door in the ground. It was old and rusty, but it had a lock. Jake used the key, and the door creaked open. Inside, they found a tunnel. It was dark and damp, but they could see light at the end. They walked slowly, not knowing what they would find. At the end of the tunnel, they found a small room. It was filled with old toys, clothes, and photos. But what caught their eye was a small bed in the corner. On the bed was a doll. It looked just like Lily. Jake picked up the doll and noticed something written on its dress. "I'm still here." Suddenly, they heard a noise behind them. They turned around, but no one was there. The light in the room flickered, and they heard a whisper, "Help me." Jake and his dad ran out of the room and back through the tunnel. When they got outside, they saw a shadow moving in the woods. It was tall and dark, and it seemed to be following them. They ran as fast as they could, but the shadow kept getting closer. When they got back to the town, the shadow was gone. But Jake knew it wasn't over. Jake and his dad went back to the library to look for more clues. They found an old photo of the town from many years ago. In the photo, they saw a man standing near the woods. The man looked familiar, but they couldn't place him. Then, Jake noticed something in the man's hand. It was a locket, the same one he had found in the park. Jake knew the man was connected to Lily's disappearance. But who was he? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Shadow Truths. Jake and his dad searched through old records at the library and found a name, Mr. Harris. He was a teacher at the school many years ago. They asked around the town and found out that Mr. Harris had lived in the old cabin in the woods. But no one had seen him in years. Jake knew they had to find Mr. Harris. He might be the key to solving the mystery. Jake and his dad went back to the woods to look for the cabin. This time, they found it. It was old and falling apart, but it was there. Inside, they found a room filled with photos of Lily. There were also notes and drawings, all about her. Jake's heart sank. He knew Mr. Harris had taken Lily. But where was she now? In one of the drawers, Jake found a letter. It was from Mr. Harris to someone named the Shadow. The letter said, "I have done as you asked. The girl is safe, but she cannot return. The town must never know." Jake didn't understand. Who was the Shadow? And why did they want Lily? Jake and his dad searched the cabin for more clues. They found a small box hidden under the floorboards. Inside was a key and a note. "The truth lies in the clock." Jake knew the town had an old clock tower. They went there and found a small door behind the clock. The key fit perfectly. Inside, they found a room filled with old books and papers. But one book stood out. It was titled The Shadow's Secrets. Jake opened the book and began to read. It told the story of a man named Mr. Harris who had made a deal with a mysterious figure known as the Shadow. The Shadow had promised Mr. Harris power and wealth in exchange for a child. Mr. Harris had chosen Lily. But the book also said that Lily was still alive, hidden somewhere in the town. Jake knew he had to find her. He closed the book and whispered, "I'm coming, Lily." Don't forget to like, comment, and share this story. Subscribe to Shadow Truths for more mysteries and adventures.